Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to the vlog. I'm starting my day with my guy Elvis here, and I hope the start of your day is amazing too. And I always talk about mental enrichment, things we can do different. You know, one of the things you can do is just give these guys a choice for different meals, right? I've done it before with Elvis where I actually get several different type of things and let him choose what he wants to eat. And I think not only does it make his mind start thinking, but also it's really kind of cool to see what he likes, you know? And then maybe we can tailor the future if he's like, oh, he really loves this particular food. We can give a little bit more of that as a treat. So the first thing we have to do is actually go hit the store, buy some treats for this guy, and then we'll come back and see what my boy Elvis wants to eat. So what I ended up picking up is some sausage that has no extra additives whatsoever. Of course, chicken drumsticks really quick, which he usually typically loves. Good with calcium because of the bone and stuff like that, not to mention the cartilage. We've got some ahi tuna that looks absolutely scrumptious. I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to eat that myself. And then we've got a couple eggs because Elvis actually usually likes eggs. So let's go ahead and get Elvis over and just let him choose what he actually wants to eat. That long tongue is gonna start sensing some food. You can see he's on it. Right now he's like, oh, wait a second. There's a smorgasbord going on, and let's just see. He's using his brain right now, sniffing the eggs. Then, oh, he looks like he's gonna go for the egg right off the bat. Oh, they're rolling around. Oh my goodness. And sometimes he'll just swallow the egg whole like he is seeming right now. And sometimes he'll actually bust it because I think he likes the yolk. He knows these eggs and he's kind of playing with it in his mouth right now because I think he wants to break it. But then he ended up just swallowing it. Again, there's one more egg. There's still that beautiful ahi tuna. Of course, the chicken and then the sausage. See, it looks like he's going to go for the second egg. Yep. Oh my gosh. That means he must like the eggs the most, which is pretty cool. And again, you can see he's playing with it. He wants to break it. That's what he wants because he likes that yolk and stuff like that. But right now he's just kind of, oh, there it is. There you go, there you go, Elvis. There it goes. That broke. Oh, yeah, that's what he wanted. I knew he wanted to do that. So, all right, so eggs are definitely a favorite of his. We give it to him every now and then, but we're going to have to probably give it to him as a treat a little bit more often. So let's see what he chooses next. Right now he's just looking around going, oh, what's going on? There's more food for you, buddy. What's he gonna get? What's he gonna do? Oh, looks like he went for the chicken leg. And again, that chicken leg's gonna be really good for him. Lots of calcium and all that stuff, and just swallows it down like nothing. This is so cool, man. I tell you, I love seeing this. Okay, what's the next two? Oh, he's gonna go for the sausage. This is actually the very first time I've ever fed him a sausage, to be honest with you. And she gulped it down like a pelican. I mean, just like nothing. Last one's ahi tuna. Let's see if he even wants it. Usually he loves fish. Oh yeah, he's not going to be picky. As it turned out, Elvis really pretty much ate everything, like the eggs first, which is interesting. And ultimately, I think this is really good. You can see he was kind of thinking about it. It's mentally stimulating. Plus, it's good for his nutrition to give a lot of variety and stuff like that. So that worked out really well. Always a cool way to start my day like that. So good job, Elvis. You're such a good boy. Good job, buddy. Guys, don't forget that the Volume 1 coloring book of the Reptarium After Hours, what the animals are doing after hours, is out right now. It is $9.99 on the website, thereptarium.com. Link is in the description. Trust me, guys, this is a banger. I mean, I tell you, I absolutely love these things. 28 pages or something like that of really cool illustrations that you can color. Again, I think you're going to love this one for sure. Link in the description. Looks like Verde is definitely ready to eat. She's out just looking. Hey, girl, you want some food, girl? Come on. There you go, baby. Ah, there it is. And again, when we do the expansion next door, we're going to definitely start to make her a larger enclosure so she has a nice water basin and stuff like that as well. So she's doing really good over here, obviously eating really good, but I know she's going to get big like Ivy one day, so she's going to need a pretty special enclosure just like Ivy's. Continuing to see if Pickles, the green tree python, will keep eating. Like I said, she's growing some follicles right now. They've been breeding, so we just want to put mass on her. Again, calories in, production out. So let's see if she'll eat. Let's just go ahead and give her a little offer. You want to try, girl? There she goes. There it goes. That's great. Again, more of those calories in is going to be better for her as far as production. Again, she looks really good, but she could probably put on a little bit more weight. That's going to help those follicles grow really good. So she looks amazing, and I can't wait to hopefully see if she produces babies this year. Since I had some of those chicken legs, I figured I'd go ahead and see if RJ is interested in eating. You want to eat, bud? Come on over. Come on over. Come on. You want some? There you go, bud. There you go. I tell you, that's probably his favorite meal. I mean, we feed him rodents, we feed him other types of meat and stuff like that, but for some reason he loves chicken legs. That's like his favorite by far. You can see he's coming over for more. He's like, Dad, can I have more? Come on, bud. There you go, buddy. Alright. I love it. Absolutely cool. And I love the way that alligators his size do that arch thing where his head's up and his tail's up and they kind of arch through. So let's see if we can get him to do a little bit more up here. Come on, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. There you go. Come on. Ah, you're so lazy. Oh, you hear that little crack of the bones with that teeth? I mean, you can just imagine the kind of power that these guys have. So just giving him a few little treats. RJ is absolutely amazing. Again, can't wait till he would be on permanent display here at the Reptarium so people can enjoy him as much as we do every single day. Things are moving along so quickly. It's so exciting to finally see females going off of food because they're getting close to ovulation and stuff like that. So this is when it kind of becomes really a lot of fun. I actually fed yesterday, so what's going to happen is I'm going through what I fed, and the things that don't eat that had like maybe 17, 18 millimeter follicles, going to ultrasound. If they're at like 22, 23, that tells me they're done, and that means I don't have to feed them at all anymore. Just have to breed them a few more times and they're ready to go. So over the next month or so, we'll literally go from maybe about 80% of the females feeding to maybe 10% of the females feeding, because all the rest of them are gravid, hopefully. So at least that's what we're hoping for. So let's go ahead, go through, see what ate, and do some ultrasound and see where we're at in the actual process of the breeding season. Now this girl actually did eat, but I'm very curious about her follicle growth, because I always talk about the three things, right? Food, follicle growth, and copulation, right? You can see this girl's been bred a bunch. She's been bred 1, 2, 3, 4 times in the last month and a half or so. She had 15 millimeter follicles just about a week and a half ago. Now I'm just curious to see how she's going to grow. This is a pastel ghost, by the way, that is het for clown, that's being bred to a ghost clown. And you can see, look at the follicles already, how big they've gotten. And that's really what I want to see. I don't think that she's going to be off of food yet, because 20 to 23 millimeters is when they typically go off of food. But it's going to be really close. I bet you she's close to 20 millimeters for sure. Let's see right there. Yep, actually 23 millimeters. So she did eat one meal. I'm going to probably offer next week, and if she doesn't eat, that's going to get the check mark. But 23 millimeters, that's well on her way. I love seeing that growth in just less than 2 weeks. Go from 15 to 23, that's really a good sign. Now this is a really interesting one. This is actually an Enchi Heifer Pied bred to a pastel pied. She was at 20 millimeters, but she's not very big, right? And she did produce last year, but it doesn't look like she has a lot of body weight on her. Now she definitely refused food, and I'm just curious. Now I will tell you, sometimes there's something that's called phantoming, where an animal will grow to 20, 25 millimeters and then phantom out, basically absorb the follicles, right? So I'm not going to be that surprised if that happens with this girl. But I tell you what, they're nice big follicles and they don't look phantomed out at all. You just wouldn't think a girl this size that's probably only maybe 1,250 grams would be going so well, but it looks like she's going to have a clutch. I mean, these are really large follicles right here. I'll go ahead and measure them up. We're talking 36 millimeters. They ovulate at about 40, so she's probably going to ovulate within the next probably 7 to 10 days. So I was expecting maybe some reverse, some phantoming. In this case, it was a good sign. Once again, I'm looking at the fact that this animal was eating good. It's been bred a handful of times, 21 millimeters a couple weeks ago. I'm assuming this girl's going to probably be, upper 20s, maybe even lower 30s, to be honest with you. And that means she's definitely done. She refused meal for me this time for the very first time in the last little bit. So we'll go ahead and yeah, you can see really nice big follicles that are definitely well up in there. We'll see how close we gotta go here. Let's see, we've got probably 33 millimeters. So yeah, she's done feeding. She'll probably ovulate in the next 2 weeks or so. So again, things are really progressing fast down here. I think that we'll see the first real eggs in the next month, and then we're gonna start really seeing in about 2.5 months, we're gonna see tons of eggs. So this is really working out well. This is actually that mahogany het pie girl that produced the Suma last year, but it didn't produce a Suma pie. So hopefully we'll get lucky and we'll produce a Suma pie. She was at 16 millimeters. And again, she refused meals, so I'm wondering if she's now past 20. It sure looks like it, yeah, 100%. She's definitely big right now. And this just means that she's probably gonna be off food for the year. I'll go ahead and put her back really quickly, and then we'll measure these guys up. Looks like we're over 20 for sure, probably more like 25, 26. Yep, 25 millimeters, so that's pretty good. So now she's done for the year. You can see how quickly things are advancing, you know? Again, as they hit that off food, that's a great sign, right? You want that 20 to 25 millimeters off of food, then you want to breed them for another probably 3 to 4 weeks, then hopefully an ovulation. So from 25 to 40 goes relatively quick. Like I said, 2, 3, 4 weeks tops, whereas from 10 to 25 can sometimes take 3 months. I love this animal. This is actually a Mojave GHI. Still one of my favorite mutations, the Ghost Mojave GHI. All that stuff is really good. This is actually being bred to a banana GHI, so we can produce some really cool stuff with that too. And you can see that glow, right? She was at 18 millimeters. She refused food for the first time. This thing, I just can't imagine she's not going to be in her mid to upper 20s right now, just because she's got that glow about her. So yep, look at nice big follicles right there. And that tells me that she's going to go. This is exciting because last year this girl didn't produce. She grew some follicles to maybe like 15 millimeters and then went backwards. This year it looks like she's definitely going to ovulate, which is super exciting. Goes all the way up to 29 millimeters. I mean, that's going to be such a banger of a clutch. I cannot wait. You know, doing this just, it's exciting. So now every time I feed, this is how I go. Instead of just checking to see what ate, I'm going through and checking to see follicles for animals that didn't eat to see if they actually can go off of food and start checking them off. So, wow, I tell you what, guys, this is going to be another great year. This girl's actually the Lori leopard that was actually bred to produce those super Lori leopards that are so amazing. And it's looking like she's getting going again. She was 16 millimeters. She did refuse food. So let's just see where she's at right now. Not quite huge, but definitely growing a little bit. So let's just get a measurement. I think they're gonna be close to 20. Yeah, 22 millimeters. So again, if she doesn't eat next week, we'll put a check mark on her. She's done. That means super Lori leopards are on their way again. Fingers crossed. I tell you what, guys, that was a really good thing. I mean, I wasn't expecting as many females to be over 20, 25 millimeters as there were. So we're probably actually ahead of the game where we were last year. Again, I always tell you guys, if you're gonna breed snakes, you wanna look at different triggers, right? We want the trigger of food, we want the trigger of breeding, and then of course the trigger of follicles. But nevertheless, definitely heading good. And if we keep this path, it's gonna be another banger year. Last year was crazy good. This year looks like it's gonna be just as good, if not better. There it is, some cool mental enrichment for Elvis and a lot of other cool stuff today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoy feeding videos, here's a playlist of me feeding a bunch of animals. If you could click 1 or 2 of those, it helps my channel a tremendous amount. Right up here, you can subscribe to my podcast. Talk about all kinds of issues on there. On this side, we are getting close to 3 million. Hit that subscription button, turn your post notifications on. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember, be kind to somebody, and I promise I'll see you tomorrow.